Hey guys, welcome to the channel, Sunny here. So on today's stream, we went super deep in artifacts. We talked about everything in regards to artifacts and Lightstones, which are coming out in 2 days. If you're watching this in the future and Lightstones are already there, don't worry, this one is going to be for you as well. We're going to take a complete deep dive, everything we discussed in today's stream, and we'll try and condense down and turn into the guide that you're about to watch. So let's jump into it, man. Once again, massive shout out to Black Desert Foundry. Basically, everything I'm gonna go over here is utilizing this homepage. I made some best in slot, basically cheat sheets for you guys to use in for everything, every sort of setup that you're looking for, be it PvE, PvP, damage survivability, lifeskilling, it's all there. And I was using this homepage to do that. So everything I go over, you can see the general layout, you can see way more combinations and everything here on Black Desert Foundry. There's going to be a link in the description as well. But yeah, a quick shout out to Black Desert Foundry, always doing massive work for the community and translating everything. So bookmark the homepage. Every time something new comes up, there's probably going to be a guide here on Black Desert Foundry. Now, what are Lightstones, right? So Lightstones is actually the most important thing of the artifacts. When we're going to be talking about this throughout the video here and also probably in the future, people are going to mention artifacts. The thing is, artifacts aren't actually the important thing. Artifacts are just 2 new item slots. So the way this works is you have 2 new item slots, the artifacts. And in the artifacts, you can put 2 Lightstones in each artifact, and the Lightstones is what's going to give you the cool combo. There are different artifacts. The only difference between artifacts is the base stats. It has a fixed amount of number and stats and everything. There are some with monster damage, monster DR. There are some with physical damage. There's some with accuracy, etc. That is the only difference between artifacts. So you can make every single combo in the game for any sort of aspect in any artifacts you got. What you use to make the combos is the Lightstones. The Lightstones is what's really going to determine how powerful these are going to be for you. Just keep that in mind whenever we're talking about artifacts and we hear other people talk about artifacts. It's actually most likely the Lightstones we're discussing. So we're gonna get the artifact slots, which are 2 new item slots, as you can see. And in those, we'll be able to put 2 Lightstones in each. And the Lightstones will unlock a combo. Now, the combo is determined by 3 to 4 of the Lightstones. That means you can only ever get 1 combo. However, Lightstones are normal items. Artifacts are normal items. So you can just de-equip artifacts and you can put in new artifacts. So you can have several artifacts with different Lightstone combinations in your inventory, and depending on what you need for what you're doing, you can just equip them. It's super nice and it's super straightforward. Obviously you will need different artifacts and then different Lightstones, so it's going to take you a while to build up your perfect set for everything you want to do. Right, let's take a look here. We have some different artifacts, and I made a list of the best in slot artifacts for the different things. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick rundown, and then we're gonna dive into the meat of this thing. Alright, so you have the different artifacts here, and again, as you can see, the difference between this artifact right here and let's say this artifact right here is just the stats. This artifact gives you 6 monster damage. This one up here gives you 4 melee attack. But you can make the same combos. You can take this one up here, 4 melee attack, and maybe you use it with another artifact, because those are the only 2 you have, right? So you can use this one, and then maybe 6 ranged evasion, and you can actually make a life skill combo using those artifacts. Now, in the beginning, when we get this, there will be some quests we can do to get our first easy, cheap artifacts. They are relatively weak. You can see it up here. They're gonna give something like 1 damage reduction for monsters, like combat 1, 1 monster damage, stuff like that. relatively weak stuff, and then also a weak version of some Lightstones, so you can start right away making stuff. But eventually you will be wanting to complete your set of Lightstones. Right. For that, we have a couple of stuff here. So I made a list, and there'll be a link in the description for each of these guides for different styles you're looking for. You probably want several combos, several artifacts with different Lightstone combos for everything here, and depending on what sort of stuff in the game you participate in. But for this guide, I made a best in slot for lifeskilling, PvE damage, PvE survivability, aka defense, PvP damage, and also PvP survivability. Now, how do you use this system? Well, first you gotta decide what is your priority. Now, which is the first artifact set and combo that you wanna make, and maybe what is the second one? So I'll use myself as an example. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to be working on PvE survival, PvE defense. My immediate goal right now is to get to a point where I somewhat comfortable can grind crypt to work on my pin depot belt. Now, my second priority is going to be PvP survival. And luckily there's a lot of overlap between those two things. So while I'm working on my PvE tank set, then I'll definitely be getting some of the Lightstones that I need for my PvP setup. So potentially I can work on both at the same time. So for me, I'm gonna go PvE survival. So I'm gonna open up the sheet for PvE survival. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take a look here. The artifact I need is this one here. It is by far the best one. Monster damage reduction +9. It is crazy good. Now, how can I get this one? Immediately I noticed that there is no grind spot here. I will definitely be going to world bosses. I'm gonna run my rift and everything, and I'll just do whatever I can to work on this. So first off, I know that grinding for the relic is not a priority because I can't really do it. Maybe I'll take a look at some of the other relics, artifacts I'll get along the way, and I'll just put my stones in that one. So for me, the actual artifact, it doesn't matter too much. I'll probably get some artifacts while grinding for the correct Lightstones. So I am going to look at which combo I am going for. Now this is PvE, and these two here are the best survivability ones, but I want to go for this one over here. This one gives me resistance against mobs. It is a form of CC resistance. Exactly how it works compared to normal resistance, the jury's still out on it, but it is resistance against CC, which is super important in crypt. So I'm going to prioritize working on this one here. Now I do notice that I need a chromatic Lightstone, and the chromatic Lightstone, I will go down here and I'll notice, oh my god, I need to do bosses. So it's not something I can grind for. Now if I get a chromatic Lightstone, I am going all out. I am continuing to grind, trying to make the one I really want for crypt. However, if I'm gonna go and I'm gonna grind here for the green ones, as soon as I have the green ones I need, and I still don't have a chromatic Lightstone, I'm not gonna sit around and wait. I will go and I will work on this one over here, because this one does not require a chromatic Lightstone. So after I finish off these, I'm gonna keep grinding until maybe I get my 2 veil, and if I can get those, I will then go and grind for the purple ones. And then I will complete this one until I can get a chromatic Lightstone, and then I will switch them out and go for this one. But my priority is going to be grinding for the green ones. I don't need any of the purples if I can get my best in slot one. So I'm going to be choosing any of these spots over here that I like to grind and make money at. For me, that is going to be Olden Valley. It's going to be Sekria Underwater Ruins. And it's going to be Gyfin Razia Temple. Whichever I feel like and whichever is available, I'm not picky. I'll go to any of those with my gear in my situation. You might be in a different situation, but maybe you want the same stone. Maybe you want to grind Historia for the compass while you're at it and double dip on drop chances. Maybe you're looking to make your potions at Necropolis and you can get some Lightstones in the process. Now, I'll be grinding those all I can. If I can finish off these 3, I'll be working, making sure I get the veils here. And then I'll be trying to finish this one off. And then I would move on to any of these grind spots here. For me personally, I would love to do this in Crypt, obviously, but I'll need this one most likely to grind there. So instead, I'll probably do something like go to Sakria Ruins, which is the upper one, and potentially work on my merchant ring piece while doing that. It's definitely not going to be the best value or best silver, but there is something alternate I want from that space anyway, so I could work on both at the same time. I think a lot of people are going to go to Sakria Ruins because it's a great place if you're working for your potion regardless, right? You need to go and grind there for infinite potion. There's a lot of different ones here you can check out and basically make up your mind of where to go. If along the way I don't get what I need, then I'll definitely be looking for my PvP versions as well, right? So it's a good idea to have more plans of what you want to do. So I'll probably be working on these here, like maybe I'll use the all damage reduction that I can get for these places here. And as you can see, I can go to Cadric Island and Paddocks. So maybe I can't get my PvE artifact, but I could use a 3 all damage reduction in PvE as well. Same with the max HP if I can get my Valley group. So I'll work on several artifacts at the same time and have a priority and a focus. And for me, it's going to be defensive builds. If you're looking for offensive versions, of course we have that as well. We have PvE damage. And I do want to point out one thing about the PvE damage, and it's this one over here. This combo right here is also the best PvP damage. Now, there's different PvE ones which are actually better, but if you're looking for one combo, one artifact that's all around for damage, this is the one you're looking for. It is crazy good, no downsides or anything. So again, you can see here what is you're looking for, the different drops for the different areas, and then how to get them. And if you're looking and trying to do artifacts along with this, well, you're gonna do some bosses on this one. There are, however, several of the artifacts with drops from grind spots, as we saw earlier in the defensive ones. Let's jump in here. This was the first one we're gonna take a look at, and I'll basically just explain to you how it is I made this and how you can use this, and then you can just apply to which one you need, right? So PvP defense. First off, there's several different artifacts. The best in slot artifacts are going to be this one here, where you can get either 3 damage reduction or 6 evasion, or you can get 75 HP. Now, those are the 2 artifacts, or 3 artifacts, depending if you're DR or evasion. How do you get them, right? These artifacts here, they drop from bosses, Awakening and all boss scrolls, Griffin, Organ, Muskins, and then I highlighted where you can grind for them. The other stuff is harder to grind for because, well, it's bosses. All of these things drop from bosses and Rift and all that, so save your Rift. But I highlighted where you can grind for them actively. Now, these here drops in Cauldron Ruins, Centaur, and Paddocks Island. Over here, if you're going for the 75 HP, which I think is probably the best one for PvP survivability of the artifacts, you have to grind either Valley of Olens or Crypt of the Resting Thoughts. Of course, you can be happy and lucky and catch one from a boss, but if you're looking to grind, you have to grind one of these 2 places. Now, I also color-coded them. And the reason I did that is because, which you will see in one of the other ones that I'll show you, a lot of the times you can double dip. So this right here is the best PvP defense setup you can make. And you want both the best artifacts, but also the best Lightstones to make the combo. So if you're grinding for these areas here, you can see where you can get the different Lightstones that's gonna be needed in the combos. You'll understand it a bit. So let's say we go for this one. We'll forget this one for now. You can go for either. There's no right or wrong here. Let's say I want to get damage reduction, right? And I'm gonna be grinding one of these 3 places to get a chance of getting these artifacts. All right. Then we go down here and we'll see what is the best Lightstone combo that you can make for PvP defense. And we have 3 versions I've picked out. This one right here is going to be the best survivability one there is. It is crazy good. This one right here is so good that even for a DR build, this is the best. And DR builds do not benefit from the evasion in PvP. We do not have enough evasion in DR builds to where like anyone pretty much doesn't have 100% hit rate. So we don't get any value out of the evasion, and it's still the best. So you can imagine how good this is for evasion builds. This one is crazy good. So this one here, like you see over here, which Lightstones you need. You need a wall, a waves, a heat, and a disturbance. Over here, there is also a resist version. So maybe you're not looking too much to the special evasion. Maybe you really want to get some resistance in your build as well. And you have a fall all resistance version here. Or you can also change the last Lightstone into a different one. Check out the link below where you can see all the different versions, right? But these are the ones that are probably the most useful. So you can change the last Lightstone and you can basically select 10% resistance to any specific type. Or you can go for this one here and get fall to all resistance. As you'll probably notice, these two here share similarities, right? The 3 stones in the top are the same. And the only difference is the last effect here, which is the last stone. So these two here are technically the same combo with just the last stone changed out. It is that good. Now I threw in another one here. This is the best in slot one for any like capped PvP, node walls and sieges. This one is super good on its own, right? It's 450 HP. It's a lot. It's crazy strong on its own. But then it's just the best for any cap content because your HP is not capped there. This one is also just a great all-arounder. If you want to go for that, then you can just go straight for that. It's no problem there. Right, let's say that you're going to go for this one over here, the best in slot for evasion DR builds, just pure tankiness. You need 3 green stones and 1 pink. So which combo are you going for, right? That one here, where do you get the Lightstones? For the green Lightstones here, you get a random green on drop, and you can get them from all of these places here. Now I lined out the ones where we can't grind yet, because they are the new winter region, which we won't get until April. So for now, not relevant. In the future, it will be. You can get it from these grind spots or these bosses. Again, I recommend you to just do all the world bosses, do all your rifts, do your scrolls, etc. And you're probably going to end up with some stones for something you need in the future. Again, you are not looking to make just one artifact set, you're looking to make several. And as you can see, I did the color coding here. So with the green ones, that is where you can grind for both the artifact and the Lightstone at the same time. So if you're looking to make this one here, you're gonna need green stones. And as you can see up here, you can get it from Cauldron Ruins or Paddock Island, or potentially Olums if you're looking to make this one, right? So these here that's color coded, those are the ones where you can also get the correct artifact for the correct Lightstones. However, you don't have to grind there. Let's say you have a solid artifact, or maybe you don't care too much about artifact. Maybe you have an artifact that has accuracy and you're fine with using that for PvP. Then potentially you want to grind another place where you're grinding anyway, like Gyphon or Histria or Sequoia Underwater Ruins. That's also really good money. So I just color coded those so you know if you want to double dip on chances of making the best in slot artifact combo. All right, so that's the green one drops here. And as you can see, we'll need green for both of these. Down here, we have the pink one, and we'll need a pink for each, or we can just go and grind that here. So for the pink one, again, I color coded. So if you want to double dip while grinding for the pink stone, towards also being able to get the artifact, then you're looking for Centaur Herd or Crypt of the Resting Thoughts. Now, when you get a Lightstone from these grind spots, it's going to be an unidentified one, right? So the unidentified Lightstone, you take it to an NPC. We can go up here and I'll show you a bit better. There we we go. So when you get one of these colors, let's say you're grinding for the green ones, right? You get an unidentified one. I can either go to an NPC, this one down here. I'll give my unidentified stone and 20 million silver, and I will get an identified lightstone. It's going to be a random green lightstone. So it can be any of the ones. It can also be some that I don't need for my combo, but it will be a random one. So you gather a lot of lightstones, you identify them, and then over time you'll able to build the correct combo that you want. The alternative is if you are Guru 1 Alchemy. That is the only thing you need. You need Guru 1 Alchemy, and then instead of paying 20 million silver to an NPC, you can make a recipe depending on which color it is you're making. So if you're again making the green stones, you'll make this recipe right here. Now, it's a lot cheaper to do this. Depending on prices, it will cost between 5 and 10 million silver to make this recipe instead of the 20 million from the NPC. But there is an additional bonus. You do have a chance of getting 2 identified lightstones out of this recipe. But again, it requires Guru 1 Alchemy. I will not recommend anyone to grind out Guru 1 Alchemy for this. It is not worth it. Trust me, I'm an alchemist. It is really not worth it. So maybe if you're super close to Guru, it might be cool to do it for the longevity, but in general, just ignore it. Get it from the NPC. You can also buy lightstones on the marketplace. So pretty solid marketplace. You can buy them over time. It's probably not going to be possible in the beginning, but trust me, over time you can buy them. Now, let's say you turned in 3 of these lightstones and you've gotten 3 identified, but they're all wrong. You can then take 3 lightstones that I identified and turn them into a new random lightstone. So it's an additional chance of rolling a lightstone that you want. But again, it's completely random. So you can take 3 identified and turn it into 1 random. Let's take a look at the lifeskilling ones as well. So the lifeskilling ones are slightly different, and that's why I want to bring those up here. So the lifeskilling stones and the way lifeskilling works, again, is slightly different. So the business slot lifeskilling combos, again, we have different type of artifacts here. We have artifacts that gives us EXP % or mastery. And those are the only 2 types of lifeskill artifacts that exist. You can get 3% all lifeskill, or you can get a 5% specific lifeskill. Same with mastery, it's 7 to all, or it's 10 to a specific one. Now, how do you get these artifacts for lifeskilling? Because, well, you're probably not going to be grinding if you're doing lifeskill. Maybe you are. But it's really well thought out. The way you get lifeskilling artifacts is by doing lifeskilling. So as you can see here, you can get any of the all life skills by doing any type of life skill. So if you're out gathering, you can get a drop while gathering of an all life skill artifact. Right. Also, if you're doing, say, Imperial Tournaments, you can get that as well. Like it's all there. You can get it doing any sort of life skill. Now, if you're looking for the specific stuff, so let's say you're looking for a plus fishing mastery artifact. Well, you get plus fishing by doing fishing. So when you're doing a specific type of life skill, gathering, fishing, cooking, any of that, it has a chance to give you a cooking or gathering, whatever, artifact for that type of life skill you were doing. So if you're all about gathering and cooking, well, you are eventually gonna be getting gathering and cooking artifacts because those are the life skills you're doing. The different artifacts for different life skills is a byproduct of doing that specific life skill. Brilliant, absolutely glorious. And especially when it comes to life skills, the artifacts and the combos are very specific. So in the PvP, PvE, grinding combat stats area, right, it's not too big a deal with the different artifacts and all that for the different combos because, well, it kind of double dips. Accuracy works both in PvE and PvP. etc, etc. Whereas here, your gathering doesn't do anything if you're fishing. Now, when it comes to the Lightstone combos, the best in slot, I added a couple here, and I made them into different areas here, so you can see how to make them, depending on the colors. Now, the blue stones here, that are the Lifeskilling Lightstones. And again, just like the artifacts, how do you get them? So, you get the blue ones by doing the life skill. If you're doing any life skill except barehand gathering, water collection, and shoveling, you can get the blue life skill Lightstones. You can also get them by doing Imperials. So if you're doing Imperial horse training or selling, if you're doing Imperial trading, also Imperial cooking and alchemy, there is a chance of you getting both life skill artifacts but also Lightstones in the process. You can also get them by using your golden worker seals, and I'll show you here real quick. So these ones right here, there's a good chance that it will be these seals that we already have that we can turn in. If I remember correctly, it is 10,000 you need for one Lifestone. So even if you kept a lot throughout the years like I have, I think throughout all of my nodes, and I haven't used any since this was introduced, I can get maybe 28 random Lightstones. And I've had all my worker nodes working for ever since this was implemented. So it's gonna take a long time to build up, but if you have some, keep them and get ready for it. I'm pretty sure these are the ones that we already have that we can use 10,000 a pop. Right, but that's how you get the blue ones. You do life skilling and you can do Imperial stuff. Now, which one are actually the best? There are again several of these life skills for every single life skill, but I took out the ones that I think people should really prioritize depending on what they're after. We have this one up here for sailing, really crazy for sailing. We get Mermaid's Hope 3, right? And we are also gonna get experience and trading XP. I think this might be bartering EXP, but it might, yeah, I'm pretty sure it might be bartering XP. And also Sailing Mastery 45. Really great one, it's also very straightforward. One thing to note, and we'll go over that in a bit, you need a chromatic Lightstone for every single one of these. Down below in the list here, of course, I've noted how you get chromatic Lightstones, but they are a bit unique. So this one here, super crazy for sailing. We also added the best one for hunting. Again, there are several for all the life skills here, so I took out the best ones. This one here is just the best for hunting. Critical chance 8%, mastery, attack speed, all that stuff. Really, really good. It's actually the only life skill Lightstone that requires a red Lightstone as well, but it's definitely worth doing. Now over here, of course, we had to give the cooking one the crown. Let there be no mistake. This one is king. Like, the best way I could explain it is this item, this combo is so powerful that the only thing in BDO that you can compare this to in power is going to be the Rich Merchant Ring and potentially Shining Alchemy Stones. This here is crazy good. It is the king of the life skilling stuff. Even if you aren't doing a lot of cooking, this one is game changing. It gives you -2 second cooking, mastery, and XP. Doesn't really matter, it's all about the -2 second cooking. This one right here allows you to get a 2-second cook timer using Mana's outfit. That is twice the speed of cooking compared to before. It's crazy. Again, you can see the combination here. Down below, there's listed where you get these. Maybe I should note, the blue ones, any of these blue ones, you will get them by doing life skilling. Any life skill can give you the blue versions, and then you identify them and you get a random one over time. So that's what you're looking for, the secret and the combination. Look for them to be sold on the marketplace. We also have a gathering one here. This one is really, really cool. It gives you more drops, but it also gives you 1 energy recovery. This one is going to be all around the best one. There's a few niche situations where this isn't the best. If you're at 2000 mastery, then this probably isn't the best. But again, I didn't want to include the niche situations The full list is going to be on Black Desert Foundry, and you can figure out if there are some of those you think look cool that you want to use for specific stuff. I also had to throw in a fishing. This one here, fishing isn't that good of a life skill, but this one here is kind of cool. It gives you minus 15% fishing time, which is great for fishing events. So whenever we have those fishing events like the koi and everything, you're looking to get as many fishes out there overnight, and this one does that. 15% quicker cast time, and it's definitely one I'm gonna go for just to have it for those events. Right, so how do you get these Lightstones? First, we covered the blue ones. You get those by doing any sort of life skilling. You will just generate those passively by playing the game and doing what it is you want to do, life skill. Now the chromatic ones, which are needed again for every single one of the good life skill. There is not one good life skill combo that doesn't use a chromatic. There are several decent, but none of the best. Chromatic, currently we can only get chromatic from bosses. So that's your Dark Rift bosses, it's your world bosses, it's your field bosses, any sort of boss, your weekly scrolls, awakening scrolls, they have a chance of dropping it. Now, if you get a chromatic lightstone, it is just that, it's a chromatic lightstone. There is no identifying it, there is no randomness. A chromatic lightstone is already a finished product. So if you get one, you know you can turn it into one of these amazing combos up here. Or maybe if you look through the combat stuff, there are some of the best in slot combat combos that requires a chromatic as well. So keep up on your bosses, don't skip out. This is like going to be the hardest one to combine. In the future, they will be grindable in the new window region. So if you haven't gotten one by April, we should be getting the window region in April, and you can go out and grind in that region for the chromatic lightstones. Right, over here for this one, if you're going for the hunting one, which I will be doing, you need to do some grinding. For the red ones here, you can see where you can get it over here. And again, I made it like this so you can see the line. You're just gonna follow the line down for what you need. So over here for these, a lot of these require the blue ones and also pink. So you really are looking to get some grinding in these places here. And it's a very good idea when you're out grinding to maybe keep a lookout for any combinations for other things, right? So if you're already doing the bosses or maybe grinding Sea of Ruins for a potion or things like that, if you're getting some of these Lightstones over here, the purple ones that you don't need for this here, you know what? Just maybe you need them for another defensive combo or a damage combo or things like that. So I would definitely check out all of these spreadsheets I've made and kind of make up your own mind about which one you're gonna go for and make a plan accordingly for where to grind and what to prioritize. Now, I alluded to this a bit earlier, but the really cool thing about artifacts and lightstones is that you can build as you go. This is this very overlooked, in this discussion here. So you can add and remove lightstones almost freely. When you have your artifact, let's say day one, we are out grinding, we are grinding for my defensive combo. And I'm out here, and let's say that my perfect defensive combo was going to be DR, because I'm a DR player, evasion doesn't do anything. Let's say that I'm grinding at Paddix Island, and I get an evasion artifact, right? And let's say that I get some different lightstones, and I can make maybe some sort of combination. Doesn't have to be this one, it can be any one. Make it. There is no reason not to use the stuff you get, because you can extract lightstones out of your artifacts for only 10 million silver a piece. You can go to any blacksmith and extract a lightstone for 10 million silver. So there's nothing wrong with making placeholders. There's nothing wrong with making different combos and just waiting with a weaker combo and then grinding for that one unique one you're missing to make the perfect combo. You can extract them always for 10 million a pop. And that also means, let's say you get your perfect combo, but you have the wrong artifacts. No problem, you make your combo in whatever artifacts you got, And whenever you get your perfect artifact, you extract your crystals and put them into the new artifact, and you just upgrade it. It's a really, really nice system where you don't go from 0 to 100, you get to upgrade as you're going. Another example is this one over here. For example, my HP one, there are different combos on this. So there's also a combo where you have 3 of those, it's just a smaller combo, but there's nothing wrong with making those steps along the way and then switching around whenever you get the right artifacts and combos to really get the most of it. But until then, utilize whatever you got. Guys, I hope you found this useful. I hope you are ready to go out and set up your artifacts. They are amazing. They are really, really powerful. And again, if you have any questions, drop a comment, or again, follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming several times a week and we go over and talk about all this all the time. So if you have any questions and you want like specific help, drop by and I'll see what I can do. I'll catch you in the next one. So I pour up inside my cup and I just sip till I can't feel it. I know it won't solve my problem, but I know it makes a difference. One more sip and I'ma fix it. Out my body when I'm